Hey everybody, quick video doing some basic charting about what happened with GameStop, LoopRing coin, and a couple of other things today to take note of. Some pretty important stuff happened. So great day for GameStop. I'm going to mess around with these settings a little bit because they look a little weird. Let's see if that helps. Yeah, alright, a little bit, kind of. Does this help? Nope. Let's go back up. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my volume and profile just to get a clearer picture of what's going on. So this is GameStop. Obviously, we had a great day today with GameStop. It went up, quite a bit today. We are hovering at 248.90 in the after hours right now. It is 7:41. Wow, 7:41 p.m. I could not have planned this better. Great. Okay. Why did we know that GameStop would be going up today? Well, we didn't know, but it was highly suggested that. Oh, what is this MACD doing? The MACD, if you're looking at the daily chart, right? Again, this is TradingView. I know a lot of people probably aren't using TradingView. I like it a lot. We'll talk a little bit more about it. But the MACD last week was suggesting that it was going to go up, right? It spiked on this day to 255, and that made the MACD go really high, and then as it went down, it looked like we were going to go down last week, and we didn't. We actually did not. So people with puts and people with covered calls last week, they lost money. If they got assigned, they lost even more money. That sucks. I'm not here to talk about that, but we can see that instead of bearishly crossing over, it bounced up. That's why I like looking at the MACD so much, because even though it's a lagging indicator, meaning that by the time it crosses, it's already too late, it helps to confirm what you're seeing in the price action, right? So we bounced up, and we bounced up with strength. If you've watched my other videos, we talk a lot about the slope of lines. So this one, you see how when it turns over, it's slowly going down, and then it sharply goes down, and then it slowly goes down, and then it sharply goes down. Well, it leveled off here, it went up sharply, it went up even more sharply. So on the daily chart, what it's suggesting is that we are just getting started, which is a great sign. Now, could it come down tomorrow on Tuesday? Sure, it could definitely come down on Tuesday. I imagine that today's price action, Monday, was because a lot of calls on Friday were in the money because we were nowhere near max pain, right? Max pain is when it comes to options, it's the point where the most contracts, calls and puts, expire worthless. And it was like 190 something on Friday, and we were nowhere near that. So I think a lot of calls were in the money. Some people probably exercised them. And so those shares needed to be bought today for delivery because of the T+2 rule, right? You get 2 days where you have to make for delivery, otherwise it turns into a failure to deliver. And that's what I think happened today. So were all the shares bought today? Are we going to go down tomorrow? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But from the MACD, on the daily MACD, it looks like we are actually picking up speed. We're going up faster. So what do I always say? When in doubt, zoom out. So instead of the 1 day, let's go out to the 1 week. And what do we see here? Kind of the same thing, right? We were going up here, slowly up, faster up. It looks like from the weekly MACD, again, I don't know why this isn't auto-adjusting, but it's looking like, oh, that's my 15-minute warning for the, this is live, folks. I apologize. Yeah, I apologize. Anyway, that's the 15-minute warning for the market closing soon. It looks like from the weekly MACD that we're just starting to speed up, so that this rally, this is suggesting that it's just starting to begin. We can see from this histogram here too, right? When the price is going down, the histogram is going to fall below the 0 line, and it'll be red. And normally it'll make these curves, and it'll just swing this way. Here it kind of faked us out, went back down a little bit, and here it's going up. So is it gonna go up a lot more, or is it going to do like one of these little fake outs over here? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm optimistic because of all the things that we've talked about already. We are entering into traditionally a great time for GameStop, for earnings, for shopping seasons. Seasonally and historically, GameStop has done well for the third and fourth quarters, which we are in now. So this is looking good. I'm optimistic. It could always fake us out and go back down. Certainly a lot of people on Twitter seem to be surprised that GameStop is roaring back to life. But I won't talk about those people. Nobody tell them. Volume and profile, it's looking like we don't have a lot of historical support. There's very little data here. We don't see what's going on. Because it's been a while since we've been up at these levels, right? And when we were at these levels previously, in June and in March and in January, there was very little volume traded. So we actually don't have a lot of historical data here. We're basically in uncharted territories. We have no idea where we might be headed. This could be a blow off top. It could be blue skies above. Or if short sellers have anything left in the tank, they could potentially short this back down. So we have to keep watching and paying attention. I'm still optimistic. All right, let's go back to the daily chart real quick. What happened to the volume and profile? There it is. Same thing. On the daily chart, not a lot of data up here, so we have no idea where the volume shelves are. We'll talk about volume shelves more when we look at LoopRing, but let's just keep going on. Let's talk about the broader market for a second, because something that's been happening is that the DXY has been going higher and higher. If you follow a lot of financial Twitter accounts or follow that conversation, people are very shocked that the dollar is rising. Now, if you follow the macro economic people, this is not surprising at all, right? And if you follow me, you shouldn't be surprised at this either, because I keep saying that we have a global dollar shortage, and I'll tweet that out all the time. Global dollar shortage, global dollar shortage. What is going on here? This is crazy looking. Okay. Yeah. So we spent a bunch of time trading in this range. Like right here. This scaling is weird. What is going on? Anyway, we spent like 6 weeks at this level and we couldn't break above it. And then we finally did break above it, and we broke above with strength. And what this is, let's draw some lines so we can actually see what's going on. Let's draw some horizontal lines. So where are our levels of support and resistance? Basically, you're just trying to find the point where a lot of lines touch. So that one's probably pretty decent. Looking locally, like this line and this line, yeah, this is pretty decent, right? And we're breaking above these lines. If it's above you, this should be a line of resistance, and if it's under you, it should be a line of support. So right here. So we're looking at breaking through this level, which we spent 6 weeks at. We're looking at breaking above this level, which, it touched here, and came back up, touched here, touched here, touched here, touched here. Kind of touched here and here. Like going back, this is going all the way back to 2016 now, right? All these touches means that this level is probably an important level, and look at, we broke through it like it was nothing. Same thing here. Like, we broke through it like it was nothing. And again, if you've watched my Is the Dollar Dead video, which is a very long, boring video that very few people watched, you know that if the dollar gets stronger, that's really bad for the stock market, and that's really bad for crypto. The idea is that because the dollar is the world's reserve currency, everybody in the world needs US dollars at some point to conduct in global trade. And if you need dollars and you can't get them because tourism is dead, because import and export is disrupted because of the shipping crisis and the trucking crisis, well, you can't get dollars. And so you have to go out into the open market to buy them, typically US Treasuries. Today's Treasury auction went pretty well. And oh, I should pull that up. Look, people need dollars, and that's why you see the price of dollars rising. So this is actually deflationary, not inflationary, because as the dollar gets stronger, that means that you have more purchasing power per dollar, which is deflationary, right? Inflation is the opposite. It's when you have less purchasing power, so you need to pay more dollars for the same amount of goods. And this right here is telling you that the opposite is true, right? It's telling you that the dollar is getting stronger, so you're having more buying power per dollar spent, right? The bottom was here, May, end of May. It was a little bit lower here in January of 2021. And it came up, went down, came back up. Could it come back down? Yeah, sure, but I don't think any dips are going to be permanent here. I definitely think that the dollar is going to probably exceed all-time highs by a fair amount. We've never had this situation before where we shut down the planet for most of a month, you know? And so there's no tourism, people can't get dollars, you know, foreign countries can't get dollars. There's not much trade going on, people can't get dollars. Consumer sentiment is down, people aren't buying anything, you can't get dollars. What else? Money velocity is down, people can't get dollars. Like, again, if this interests you at all, I know it's a very boring subject. Check out my other video about is the dollar dead. Okay, so DXY, this is just the trade weighted dollar index. You can't trade this. This is what you can trade. This is UUP. And what we can do, let's refresh this to see if the volume profile shows back up. It does not appear to be showing. Well, that sucks. If you're on Fidelity, maybe that'll work. Let me try removing it and then adding it again, and maybe it'll show up. There we go. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so again, what the volume profile tells you, oh, we're on GME now. UUP, go. Hey, there we go. Now we're talking. What the volume profile tells you is how much volume was transacted at any given price point. So how much interest was there at a specific price point. So if people are trying to dump this stuff, they'll be dumping to buyers. Buyers will be buying up anything that the sellers are selling. And what you'll see is these spikes, these large, long volume and profile spikes. And this orange line here, that's called the point of control, which is the biggest candle. So what is it telling you? It's telling you that there was a lot of activity in this range here, right? Again, this is UUP, so I can't correlate this to the DXY exactly. But UUP is an ETF that tracks the dollar, basically. And in this range, there was a lot of activity. A lot of buyers, a lot of sellers. But the biggest one was all the way down here, right? And clearly the buyers won, right? The demand for the dollar was so strong that they bought this up. And then sellers out here, they tried to short it back down, but that dip was bought up, and you have another volume shelf here, right? This is a supply zone. This is a shelf of volume where if this ever falls, most likely there's going to be more buyers down here to push it back up, right? And we're starting to enter uncharted territories as well. Now let's adjust this. So let's look back all the way to like 1,000. Yeah. And we gapped up today. So we're entering this region here. So this could come back down maybe. If there are sellers over here able and willing to sell it back down, to short it back down, UUP could come back down. Same thing over here if we break through it, right? And then there's not a lot of room here. A little bit here, a lot more here, a lot of it over here. That's the daily. But again, when in doubt, zoom out. So we have to zoom out. Let's go to a weekly. So then again, our look back period is 1,000. So this is 1,000 weeks. This is like a really long time. And our volume and profile disappeared. So I can't tell you anything. Let's go back to the daily. Yeah. I guess we have to stick with the daily. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, moving on. TLT, this is an ETF that tracks the longer term US Treasuries. This is the 20 plus year. And let's see what happened. I think what happened here, this was, we're in 15 minutes, that's fine. We should go to the daily. When was the last, I think it was right here. October. This was the last FOMC meeting, I think. Right here, and it went up a lot. See all the volume and profile here? It went above, and it looked like it was going to head all the way to here, 157. Now, if it did that, stock market almost certainly would have crashed, right? Because, again, hedge funds are very, very short US Treasuries. You can check Hedgeopia for that information. And it got shorted back down. It got sold back down. And we bounced off this supply zone here, this volume shelf. And it looks like we're headed back up to here to 149-ish. Today, they sold it off. This is forming like a little bit of a bullish flaggish pattern. You know, and there's a lot of people that still think that Treasuries are going to zero, the dollar's going to zero, but I mean, what does that tell you? That's pointing up. That is strongly pointing up. What is the MACD telling you? MACD telling you that it was going down for a while, obviously, but that gap is closing, and we may be on another bull run soon. You know, the histogram on the MACD, same thing, right? Shorted here, you know, it sold off here, sold off more here, sold off more, but not quite a lot here, and then it lost momentum. It's headed back up. So we'll see where this takes us. Again, if TLT goes up and UUP slash DXY go up, that's really bad for the stock market. Same thing with gold. Let's see if we can look up gold here. Yeah, this is the spot price of gold. Now, and gold is falling. Look at that. Right? So this goes against the inflation narrative. Everyone thinks that we're going to see inflation, but, you know, the macro people and me, I'm, you know, trying to learn from them. We're telling you that it's not inflation because it hasn't been monetary inflation because the Fed doesn't print money. It's been cost push inflation because of disrupted supply and demand because of the shipping crisis and all this other stuff. Right? I mean, we shut down the country for months. We shut down the world in many parts for months. You're going to have to expect some of this stuff. And gold is selling off quite heavily. That's not a good sign for gold bugs. But again, we're hitting the supply shelf here, the supply zone here. So are buyers still here? Are they still willing to buy up gold? I don't know. Because if let's go to a weekly chart because gold has been falling for a while. Look at this. The highest point was in August of 2020, early August of 2020, and it's just been going down ever since. You know, and you get these fake rallies. I mean, you can't really call it fake because if you're trading this, you can make a lot of money, right? You made a lot of money here, you made a lot of money here. You could trade this, but if you're a long-term holder, I'm sorry to say, you've been losing money for well over a year now. And look at this, right? It made a high here, but it's lower than this high, which is lower than this high, which is lower than this high, which is lower than this and these highs. This is not looking good. I mean, zooming out more, I guess, you know, this could be like a bearish or a bullish flaggish pattern. That's what I think a lot of people are interpreting this as. But look over here. Again, click that. This was 2011. You know, 2008. Similar patterns. It goes down and then it goes up, goes down. Look at this. This is terrible right here. So this could fall. Some people are estimating like the 1600s, but if this pattern is anything like this pattern, we could see gold fall a lot. It's possible. I mean, it could be wrong. It could just keep going up, but I don't think so. All right, LoopRing coin. Finally, what's been going on with LoopRing coin? Well, it's been falling down quite a bit, right? I started talking about LoopRing coin over here when it was like 43 cents. This is TradingView again. It doesn't. I can't seem to figure out how to tell the price. It just tells you the market cap. So this part is a little bit confusing. But right here, this was 43 cents when I first started talking about it on Twitter. A couple days after, it fell down to like 37 cents. And then it made this huge run, like 900%. Let's take a measurement from. Let's be very optimistic and say we bought the perfect bottom and we sold at the very perfect top. Yeah, it's like 900%. Right? You can see it right here, 900%. So anybody that listened to me, which I think there was like 3 people on Twitter that actually did it. Congratulations, everybody! You made a ton of money. And then since then, we've fallen. The lowest point was 40. We were down 42, 43%. Rebounded a little bit. Right now we are sitting at, we're down 31% from the highs. Okay, so what happened? This was a rally. I think Vitalik tweeted again, or maybe he blogged about LoopRing coin, and it shot back up, and then it's been selling off. Last night, apparently a whale bought into LoopRing coin, and that sent the price going up, because last night I was in a space call with Stonk Sandwich and with XWWP and with Cousin Sven on Twitter, and we were talking, and we watched this go up. But look at the volume shelf here, the volume and profile. There's no historical support at this level, and the look back period is 1,000. So we're on the 15-minute chart, 1,000 times 15, whatever. Or 1,000 divided by 4, I should say. That's how many hours. 250 hours. No historical support level, but if a whale bought in, then you can't really predict that. You can't really say anything. It spent some time trading sideways here because sellers wanted to sell over here. Did it again, and again, this orange line is the point of control, which is the biggest candle. The most activity happens at this orange line. Got above, which should be very bullish, but then it sold back down. So buyers were not around. Buyers got exhausted. Sellers took over. They sold it back down. Buyers stepped in to try to get it back up above that orange line. Failed, came down. Tried it one more time. Failed, came down. Are trying it one more time. Again, not touching the orange line, which means that it's not as strong. And I suspect that without a catalyst, it's going to go back down. So what would a catalyst be? Well, tomorrow is Tuesday the 23rd. There's been a lot of rumors going around that Ryan Cohen is finally able to talk to the public again. Check Reddit, check Superstonk if you want more information about that. I don't know. I have no opinion about it one way or the other. If he does announce something about LoopRing, about an NFT marketplace or whatever, that could be the catalyst that sends us not only above the orange line, but just shooting all the way potentially back to all-time highs, potentially. But again, because of the dollar, because of UUP, DXY, TLT, the macroeconomic picture and the things going on in the world, I'm not too optimistic about any of that. Okay, if you're going to sign up for a LoopRing wallet, which is pretty cool, you don't have to use my referral code, but please use somebody's referral code. Go on Twitter, ask around, ask somebody. What it gets us is 1,000 points on the LoopRing ecosystem, which is equivalent to some small amount of tether, which we think is fraudulent, or I think is fraudulent. But it's something. So use somebody's code. Mine's on my Twitter profile. It's 006973. 006973. So use somebody's. Going back to TradingView. Again, I like charting on it a lot. I'm still on the free version of it. There's a 30-day free trial, but for their Black Friday sale, this was pushed to me on Twitter, not a paid endorsement. Okay, they don't even know I exist. I don't know who this person is. She doesn't know I exist. This tweet was promoted to me. They're having up to 60% off on TradingView Pro. Looks like she trades futures and gold and silver. Anyway, go to this person. What is it? Cordova Trades, at Cordova Trades on Twitter. Again, I have no idea who this person is. If you want to find somebody else's referral code, use theirs. But they're giving you 40% off the Pro version. The Pro Plus is 50% off, and the Premium is 60% off for Black Friday. You can pay monthly. You can pay for the whole year. If you pay for the whole year, you get a free month with this offer on top of being up to 60% off. So it's up to $288 off for the US. I like it a lot. I'm going to strongly consider pulling the trigger on this one. I might only do 1 year, because if we really do have a dollar shortage, I imagine this 288 might be cheaper next year. Maybe. We'll see. Okay. I think that's it. Oh, wow. I like to talk a lot, don't I? This is a 26-minute video. All right. Thank you for listening. Have a good night. Oh, I'm making that seesaw video, the margin account, the shorting, the AMC versus GME video. I'm still working on it. It's going to be a good one. It's just going to take some time. So thank you again. Have a good night.